Yeah, we ain't games with AllBall, baby. Yeah,
but I'm not.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
No discounts right now, neither. We need everything.
Hit that QR
Stop.
code and go get a fucking t-shirt.
We know who's getting playing time on these Knicks. Number 3 in the power rankings from the basketball forever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever? Where we at with this, fellas? Let's touch on this. Number 3 in the power rankings from basketball forever. Joker, SGA, and Brunson. Yeah. You don't see no Ant-Man up there. You don't see no Giannis up there. Huh? You don't see no KD up there. No LeBron. The King. Done. Reign is over.
We should have been number 2. Joker, great player. But we got the clutch player of the year. We was in the Eastern Conference Finals, few games from the finals. Now I get it. Denver took OKC to Game 7, but I just feel like, you know, if we don't speak up for our Knicks, who will? And yeah, sometimes, you know, I may sound a little outrageous, but listen, if that's what it takes to get the job done, if that's what it takes to respect us, we should have been number 2. Simple and plain. You can't put, you know, of course, if Indiana came back fully healthy, then maybe Indiana would be number 2 because they were just in the finals. But right after that, it should be us. I think the glaze for the Denver Nuggets and Joker from the NBA is just out of control. They are trying to force the Joker down your throat, pause. And he's a great player. But we cannot ignore what Brunson and our Knicks did these last couple seasons, especially last season. Like I said, clutch player of the year. He gets better in the playoffs. He has monumental games in the playoffs, game-winning shots. He was a starter for the All-Star game. What more do y'all want? And then we upgraded and got a bench. And then now we have a healthy Mitch for the start of the season. So I want to be rewarded for that. So, yes, I think we should have been number 2 right behind OKC. Like I said, I get it with Denver. I get it with Joker. But we got to stop glazing the Joker and start understanding what Brunson and Cat and the Knicks is doing right now. I think we should have been number 2, and then I wouldn't have had no problem with Denver being number 3. I wouldn't have had no problem with Minnesota being number 3. They were just in they were just in the Western Conference Finals. So, like I say, what are we rewarding? Joker wasn't in the finals last season. Okay, they team made a little bit of upgrades. We made some major upgrades. So why are they number 2 and we're not? So that's the only problem I had. But just to be mentioned, just to have our guy picture up there with those guys, because we all know SG and Joker is on another level and they kind of set the bar. So just to be in that conversation, in that sentence, I love it, but I still would have rather us be number 2 in that power rankings.
I like the spot we in. I think it's a fair spot, right? You always want to see your team number 1, right? As a fan and as a team that, as a guy that loves the Knicks, you just want to see them number 1. But from a logical standpoint, the Thunder just won, right? They have the MVP. They have the reigning MVP on their team. They just won the NBA championship. I think you look at Joker, and he's arguably the best player in the league, right? Multiple time All-Star. He's really revolutionized what that center position looks like, right? Like in today's game, he's amazing. I don't think anybody, us three, anybody, I don't think there's anything bad that we could say about Joker. He's a great player. I think the one thing that we tend to not talk about much, I mention it every now and then, but Brunson's a small guard, right? And I mentioned it before. It's like, you know, how many small guards out there have been the best player on a championship team? We talk about Isaiah Thomas. We talk about Steph Curry, right? But the list stops right there. It just ends right there. It's not a long list, right? Iverson obviously was a guy that he was potentially the best player on a championship team.
Tony Parker got a Finals MVP. Chauncey got a Finals MVP. I'm not saying they were the best guys on the team, but they got Finals MVPs.
Right. What I'm saying is, though, I think where the reservation comes out with Brunson is right there. Just it hasn't happened many times. Could he be the second best player on the championship team? I fully believe that. But I got to be made a believer. Just me. I ain't knocking nobody else who feels a different way. But me. I got to be made a believer that he could be the best player and we standing with that Larry O'Brien. I gotta be made a believer. And the only way that's gonna happen is if we win. And I don't think that I'm the only one that feels like that. Whoever at Basketball Forever made that ranking, whatever the rankings is gonna be in ESPN, CBS, this outlet, that outlet, our own rankings. I'm sure we may do that before the season starts, but I just don't think that we should be higher than that. And I think people are considering the fact that Brunson is the best player on the Knicks. How far is that going to take us?
All, fair points, as you put it. A lot of respect given to the Thunder for winning the championship. The Nuggets won a couple years ago. Joker should have won 3 MVPs in a row. I just get a little confused because I hear about what people have done. And yeah, the Thunder accomplished the major team objective last year, is winning the championship. But I can't get over the fact that if Halliburton is healthy, that outcome is different to me. I don't care what anybody says. That kid, after being doubted, everybody, I know he doesn't have the 30 points a game, the flashy look to him, but the fact that he had that team on the cusp of winning a championship, even Cleveland at number 4, doesn't make sense to me anymore. I'd rather see the Wolves and Rockets. The Wolves have made back-to-back conference finals. You got them 2 spots lower than the Cavs. So a lot of this stuff is not really weighing out to me right. The Thunder won, so I could give them that respect. But let's also talk about basketball. Let's also talk about the fact that the Knicks play the Nuggets amazingly. Like, well, OG, people don't want to hear this, but OG plays Joker tough. And we get Mitchell Robinson, and we got the Joker stopper himself, Karl Anthony Towns. So, yes, that's a one-on-one, and there's 80 more games to play against other teams aside from the Nuggets. But I would like to, being at number 2 is a little more respect for the team that was in the conference finals last year and did make that a supposed upgrade at head coach. I get that the Nuggets added whoever it is, but just factoring in everything else with Cleveland or whatever, Cleveland lost to Indiana in the second round. Again, they lost in the second round. Like that's the part to me that's just, okay, so I get if we had our own criteria, I think we would factor in a lot more, way more basketball, player style matchups, team matchups. Like that's how I feel about it. And Brunson, he kills the Nuggets also. I can see the Knicks at number 2. I don't want to get riled up though, so I understand Flea, but I can see why, if this is the way they're talking, automatic Eastern Conference champions, how is the Nuggets a problem for us? I get it, it's Joker, but bro, we got 3 guys that play the Joker crazy. We already had the blueprint against Embiid, which I'm still pissed about Tibbs for not guarding him right. I've seen him give Joker problems for 2 seasons straight. So I would like my Knicks at number 2, AllBall or Flea. I don't know if I heard something before.
Oh, go ahead, Flea.
Now, OG want them at 2. I thought them at 3 is fine. So I want them at 2.
I think this conversation, none of us is right or wrong. It's not a problem. Like I said, just when Fabian breaks it down and Flea, you made a great point. I can't argue that. But what is it based off of? Because great point. Why is Cleveland at number 4? Why isn't Minnesota higher? Back-to-back Western Conference. Like I said, we was just there. We know, Denver Joker, great player. You see, they overhyped. He did a pass in preseason the other day. They went berserk. It's like, yo, bro, we get it. We know he's great, but it's like, come on, man. There's other teams that's on the rise that we made the proper moves. We got better. The next step is to get to the finals. Everybody now is on the bandwagon. Why is Denver ahead of us? Is it because of the Joker? Because there's nothing else you can tell me. So I get it, but I would love that number 2 Fleet, because once again for our Knicks, listen, man, it's been a rough lot of years. So just to see,
Sure.
we live in this in real time. So now to
Sure.
see top players want to play here. Now to see when they having talks on these networks, we're being talked about as far as getting to the finals. We have our guy. Now with these NBA rankings and even with Brunson being a top 10 player, like I want to see all this stuff be put properly because it doesn't happen for our Knicks. So I'm just ecstatic. but I ain't gonna lie. For some reason, number 2 just looks that much better than number 3 because you're that much closer than number 1.
AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.